Several roofs have collapsed, buildings are damaged and 2 people are injured after a tornado slammed into Christchurch this afternoon. The weather in the central city changed suddenly after 1:30 p.m. with large hailstones pelting the city, thunder and especially strong winds. Fire and Emergency says it received a multitude of calls after the wild weather hit, with people reporting roofs lifting and air conditioning units falling off buildings. 2 people were injured after the roof collapsed at the SaveMart in Sydenham. Debris is littering several central city streets and people are being asked to steer clear as it may contain asbestos. Our reporter Logan Church is in Christchurch and we'll speak to him shortly, but earlier today he headed out to speak to those hardest hit and filed this report.
Cell phone footage captured the tornado ripping through the city. Debris from roofs ripped up, flying through the air, smashing windows and causing bystanders to run for cover. Debbie works at Watermelon Shade on Wordsworth Street, and she says she saw the tornado flying down the road towards her. The force of it blew off the roof of a car dealership across the road.
We looked out, we were watching the thunder and lightning, and we were looked right and we could see all the debris lifting, and then it worked its way down and it got to about that building down there, and then we decided just to go inside, and because it's all glass we found a centre office that we could go into just to keep safe.
The footpath outside is littered with roofing material. Many windows smashed, building facades ripped off. Have you seen anything like this before?
Never. I've seen everything here, but not a tornado. Employees
at neighbouring businesses Harrell Uniforms are assessing the damage to their shop. Among them is Connor Upham.
From what the boss has said, there's the embroidery room's got a bit of a panel lifted up in the corner and a bit of flooding due to the hail, but nothing major. I mean, he hasn't been up on the roof yet. This is the next step, but could probably do that now that the weather's cleared. But yeah, but something different, nothing too major. I mean, all the buildings around us obviously got hammered. I think we were a bit lucky. It almost kind of feels like we're the eye of the storm, so we got safe, and the ones around us are all windows smashed and tiles missing.
He says he has never seen anything like it before.
The sky's very black, thunder, lightning. Looked up to see a whole bunch of signage and debris just flying through the air. Wasn't until the older man that works here sort of was out in it that I really saw the truth, because I went out to see what he was looking at, and that's when you could see, especially down the road there, a couple of those buildings, all the tiling that's now scattered all over the road, hence why they blocked it off, just falling down like rain. So quickly dragged him in with the strong winds, door wouldn't shut, looked up and basically saw just the tornado. You know, you see those in America, you don't see them here.
And it's not just Wordsworth Street that's felt the brunt of this tornado. Up the road, SaveMart is shut as part of its roof has collapsed, creating a small waterfall inside. 2 people were injured. An office building in central Christchurch is also reported to have a collapsed ceiling, and homes in New Brighton have lost their roofs. But Assistant Area Commander Mike Bowden is particularly worried about some of the dislodged roofing material, which is likely to contain asbestos.
Please don't touch this stuff. This old kind of roofing can contain up to 15% of asbestos, and particularly when it dries out. This is not stuff for people to go and pick up or touch or take home.
Fire and Emergency says the Christchurch City Council will be clearing the streets of contaminated roofing material, and cordons will be in place for several hours. But for businesses hard hit, just how long their clean-up will take remains to be seen.
And Logan Church joins us now from Wordsworth Street in Sydenham via live view. Logan, what's the weather like now?
Hi Lisa, well, as quickly as the hail and tornado came in, it left almost just as quickly, leaving residents here on Wordsworth Street and business owners completely in shock as to how fast and how destructive this tornado was. Behind me at the moment, workers are on top of a building which roof has partially collapsed. A lot of that roof ended up on the road here. Now, much of that has gone, which will be much to the relief of the fire service. Earlier today, their big concern was that that some of this roofing material, which is scattered over several streets in this area, had about 15% asbestos in it. A lot of that has been cleared up, although some remains, so they're suggesting that people do take either safety precautions or just stay away from this area. But as the hours have sort of gone this afternoon, many businesses are really trying to get their heads around what's happened. We've seen business owners boarding up their windows, nailing down doors, really just figuring out what on earth went on.
Yeah, so Logan, for obviously those of us who don't live there, this sounds like it was just an intense, short, sharp hit of this weather. Was that the case?
Completely. We were inside, and when it struck, it really came almost like a hammer, and then about 10-20 minutes later it was all gone. But the destructive power of this tornado and weather wasn't just on this street. Down the road to my left is SaveMart, where 2 people are reported to have been injured when part of the roof collapsed. I actually went in and had a look, and I guess that area of the roof resembled what can only be described as a small waterfall. And to my right, we head out towards the sea, where there's reports that some homes have roofs that have also been damaged. So this tornado has had quite a destructive effect over much of the city.
And do we have any update on those people who were injured?
We don't have any more updates at this stage. We understand that the injuries weren't serious. They were taken to Christchurch Hospital. It's also not known if anyone else was injured at the stage. But in the meantime, for these businesses here, it's really going to be cleaning up and moving on.
Thanks, Logan. That's Logan Church joining us live from Christchurch there regarding the tornado.